Hey, hey, yo, hey, haha. Oh, wow. I was wondering which way I like the camera better. I think I like the camera better this way. Ain't nobody here but me and gold. Haha, let me put this camera. It's just me. As my daughter says, it's what makes it reality TV. Okay, yes, guard my privacy and abide by the rules. Let me see. Yeah, I like this side better. I mean, hey y'all, hey, how was your week? I learned from the other YouTubers. Give me a chance to come. Oh my gosh. I had the table the wrong way. I can't put my feet underneath the table. But I'll either work it out or kick it over. Hey y'all, hey. Y'all know those beats was by Tyree Welch and his cousin Sean Welch. And Tyree has flag here. Let me go see. Let me go get it. You know, I'm so naive. I write everything down on paper. And I'm like, you could put it in your phone and then go get it. My hands are dry and stuff because from me touching the camera. I don't want grease and stuff all over it. So there's that. So here we are. Let me see. Sean Welsh. Let me do Sean first. And ooh. I don't know if I can read stuff from here, but Sean wrote a good poem, but he has this Christmas CD that he's doing that he said, here we go. Carol of the Bells, honey. Blend Mix 10th anniversary mixtape released by Shadow Magnet. And yes, shadowmagnet.com. It should be there. It says broadband and other stuff. But yeah, www.shadowmagnet.com. And you can get Shadow Magnet Hip Hop Holiday Mixtape. Go Sean. oh man, I hope I didn't break the guideline thingies. I don't think I'm supposed to be sending nobody over there, but they wrote the introduction to my thing, and it's just his music. I'll find out when I get an email. Anywho, we got Tyree too. Hi, thanks for coming through. We got Tyree, his cousin, and Tyree has fly gear. And when I do my podcast, you'll see them there. But let me get to the subject of why we're here today. So I'm sitting down, right? And I'm like, Vicky, for this whole LGBTQ thing, LGBT, you need to focus on where it started. You're not going to get a good foundation to the story unless you know. So then there's this book called The Red Tent. And it's a book about Indian women of some prestige. And in the background, we live in, so that's my family moving about. And all the women, old, young, and everything, they get together in this red tent because they're supposed to stay away from the men and stuff like that. And they just talk, old stuff like that. I didn't close my door. Sorry. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. Yes. Sorry about that. So I said, but that in the book, all the women get together and they bash men. So I was like, I don't want to use the red tent as what I'm gonna label the show as, because I'm not bashing men. So I said, okay, how about, here was my next idea, you're gonna love this. I said, how about the red tenement? And I was like, that's not it. That's not it. And I'm going on to something. And I said, okay, how about the red rooming house? And bing. I was like, I was 22 and I was introduced to that world by Martin. I was introduced to the world, the LGBTQ, just because it's friends. Because we're all friends. Not for anything else. The bestest friends I ever had. So I said, okay, then call it my Bedford-Sty Brownstone. Because for those years I was there, and there was a time the building went gay. Anyway, that's what the old man at the top used to say. The building went gay. So I didn't know we were having it was a good time, but Martin didn't live in the building. But that's why I decided to put it, and I should have put Bed-Stuy. Next time I'll put Bedford-Sty Brownstone, because everything is centers around Brownstone. Coming and going back and forth, my introduction to the world, the community, the rainbow, was at like 22 in a rooming house in Bed-Stuy. See, in New York, I didn't. I was just so glad I left the South, went to college. I didn't do the whole years. Just that was just like a springboard, and I came to New York, and everybody was in Brooklyn. My sister was in Manhattan, but I don't want to get off topic. And I met someone. I met a girl there through a childhood friend that I hadn't seen in over 7 years, and we connected. And she had to find a place to live, and we went to Bed-Stuy because the Amsterdam News. Anybody knows anything about New York, especially at this time, I would not. If you want a room, you go to the Amsterdam News under their want ads. If you want an apartment with more roaches than people in New York, you go to the Amsterdam News want ad. And I'm saying that from experience. I didn't know about redlining. And once I found out, I realized that, in my opinion, from using them, because that was the paper that you used to find a place to live in New York at the time. For us. Okay, it was in the 70s, but discrimination was still running high. They had areas that they put us in. Okay? And if you couldn't go out of it. And so you got the Amsterdam News, and I remember after my last apartment that I got from the Amsterdam News, I swore against it. I was not going to have anything to do with it again. I get some water, y'all. Hey, good afternoon. How are you? Hi, Valerie Tech. in Central. I don't know. Excuse me. So, um, that's so I didn't use that. I was horribly impressed, but I understood about red line and stuff like that. So when we went looking for Pat, that was her name, my girlfriend I met. We must have met for 3 days. She had to get out of my friend's apartment. I had to get out of my parents' place, and we went looking, and we found the place in Bed-Stuy, all the way up on the top floor. And that's how I got to be there with her. And then meeting Martin, and then meeting Shane, and meeting London, and meeting, just gathering. We used to do stoops. We used to sit on the stoops. So that's why I'm using this opening. My Bedford-Sty Brownstone. And now I'm going to get to the subject. I love the women and men. I want to tell you something. The cult I was in basically didn't encourage loving women. It didn't. It's something that was born in me because I wasn't encouraged to love women. I was encouraged to love men who hate women. I was encouraged to take care, cook, clean, keep house, do bills, work, give my money to a man, and all he has to do is live. So, and they call that man. I know now that I know exactly what he is now, but they called that a man. You know, he's screaming, y'all yell and holler. But when I look back over my life and my relationship with men, I had to see some women, and I'd see a part of a woman in them in order for me to associate with them. I wouldn't do it. I had to see it. Because if they were able to show that, the tenderness is what I'm talking about. I know that we're all feelings, because that's what men are not supposed to feel. But if you couldn't feel, for me, I knew it wasn't going to be a long relationship. Now, I married at 20. Okay, so all right. And the thing that really got me tuned to him and his callousness, though he was very callous to me, but I was raised believing that that's how men are supposed to be. And you just work with them, and you give them food, and you do different things like that, and it's okay. But no, no, no. I, until Martin came through, I didn't realize how cold and cruel he was, because he couldn't stand Martin. My T.S. Martin, he could not stand. Now, my T.S. Martin, he was transitioning to a woman. If the AIDS epidemic had not come in and taken his life, hadn't come in and taken his life, he'd have transitioned. Like I said, I know he had blockers because he didn't have any facial hair or anything like that. And I don't know, he didn't have it. He had a bit of an Adam's apple, but no facial hair, no hair. He used to do his chest over here, no chest hair, no back hair. He had no hair. So I'm just saying, because I look at Jazz and I think that that's something that stops that. They said testosterone blockers. So I think he was getting that. So I saw how cruel he was, and I was like, I used to say to my ex, he's not doing nothing to you. He's not bothering you. He's not even doing anything to you. Why don't you like him? Never did anything to you. And he would just go on. You don't know what he want. Look at him, he's funny. And he used to call him all kind of things that we ain't supposed to say now. But it used to make me angry and angrier. And I don't know, just after a while, I could see how cruel and selfish he was with me. And that was the path to struggle. And we were at, okay, Bed-Stuy, 352A Hancock Street between Troop and Tompkins. When you used to call a cab, y'all remember cab? I know y'all got Uber now, but there used to be a cab service that you used to have to call, and you have to tell them exactly where, between Troop and Tompkins on the left-hand side of the street. Yes, 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 Bed-Stuy. Yep. Do or die, honey. Block party, but we'll get there. So I realized that if I met a man who was hard, you know, who was you say, oh, come on, let's go shopping. You need some shirts, and I need some. I'll pick them up myself. I'll get them. Hey, come on, let's go. I'm not big on shopping, but we need to get in. We can both go out together. That was women's stuff. But I used to see men dressed all the time, and I couldn't understand. But he would go shopping by himself, and he would go shopping with his friends. So you see, I don't know. I still haven't figured that out. This is my ex. I still haven't figured that out. I always felt that he was gay, but not women. Here's the difference. Oh boy, I hope I'm not confusing y'all. In my life, here's the difference. T.S. Martina. Okay, I'm gonna transition his into women. T.S. transgender woman. I'm gonna transition him to. So we're gonna say T.S. Martina, who I love greatly, and never bothered anyone, and was my bestest friend, and showed me what my husband was. Of course, I lost a little train of thought. It's good when I have people come through, I guess. So I had to see, okay, TS people love women. Martin loved women. I never heard him say, oh, that bitch this bitch that bitch that. I heard them say that, talk about him, but I've never heard him say anything to them to call women names. He'd always say, oh, girl, I can do your hair. I can spuff it up for you. Or, oh, that lipstick look nice. That, oh, you can blush. Oh, you should let me do this too. You should let me hook you up. That's how Martin was. And that's how I find trans women to be with other women. It's like, let's bring the beautifulness out in each other. You know what I'm saying? And that is awesome. That is so great. We had the best time ever. And so that's transgender women to me. Even outside, even Miss Cappy. 6'7", Miss Cappy, with them jerry curls that used to bounce all over the place. T.S. Cappy, Gertrude Cappy. Because I know they say them German women look hard, but trust me. Now, if Miss Cappy was live, and today where how plastic surgery is affordable and different things like that, and all that stuff, honey, she would have been snatched, Gertrude Cappy, okay? And she was in the fashion world, because she was my supervisor at John Wanamaker. She was a transgender woman at John Wanamaker. So I knew if she was alive today, she would butt shots, implants, all that kind of stuff, honey. Y'all don't know how good y'all got it. Back then, like I said, I used to have to stuff Martin's bra. And Miss Cappy was flat. Oh my God, I felt so sorry for her. She, but okay, I don't want to get off the okay. So, but in my life, so transgender women, they love women. They always want to bring more beautifulness out of them, make them beautiful. In my experience, gay boys hate women. And as I was told by quite a few of them back then, remember I'm talking about Bedford-Sty, and we're going back to 1979 through I think 1984 or 85. Okay. In my experience, the gay boys hate women. I would sit out there with them, and they would shred every woman that crossed their paths apart. Everyone. I don't know why. I used to say, boy, I wasn't, how you talk about me behind my back, huh? I mean, now I did say on my notes, I want to tell y'all about, because I was thinking about the LGBTQ community. And I said to myself, I didn't have too much to do with the L, you know, not too much to do with the L at all. But I have, I'm going, this is why I made my Bedford-Sty Brownstone, because everything is going to be circled around the time that I lived in the brownstone and my experiences with the community. Now, my sister's mother-in-law was in a lesbian relationship. And the lady she was with lived in the Bronx. Her name was Brenda. And the mother-in-law's name was Ruth. I always thought it was, and to me, sometimes in lesbian situations, especially when they get older, I don't think it's a love thing. I think it's a hobo sexual relationship. Though it is lesbians, it's still hobo sexual, because they could just as well be roommates and split the rent. But Ruth ain't had no job. Ruth ain't had no money. The only person that was kicking out all the cash was Brenda. That's why I call it a hobo sexual relationship. I don't know. I don't think. Mom Ruth was with men all her life until that attraction wasn't there anymore, and women became attracted, and she needed a roof over her head. That's the way I see it. So, though I found Brenda to be very nice, and she just loved having all the family over, and honey, them folks sponged off her like you could not believe. I got tired of going over there because I kind of saw it for what it was. So that's one relationship. And the next relationship I had was years later, and it was my supervisor. Anyway, so that's the only connection that I have with the L for this time when we're in the 70s, early 80s, when I'm in Bedford-Sty. So I just wanted to let y'all know that. And that, okay. I wanted to bring up, hey, Tech. Hi, Peace. Hey, Clyde. How are you? So, I I wanted to bring that up, and that's why I make the focus Bed-Stuy, because that's when I came to, oh, good. That's when I came to. Thanks, Clyde. Thanks for sharing the video. That's when I was introduced to the community. Okay, Peace. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, God bless you, Clyde. That's my Clyde Divas 3, 6 in consciousness. I love me some Clyde Diva. I'm telling you, I hunt her out. But usually she's already went out. What? Oh. I get off focus. But I love her because she's smooth. She can put you in your place and tell you off, to me, very smoothly. When I listen to her, I call her like a hot knife through butter. You just glide through. But that's how you got to do, folks, sometimes. And I like that about her. I also like how sexy she dresses. I love the lingerie that she wears, and how free she is to show her beautifulness. Because at that age, I wasn't. Okay, look at me. Need I say more? Knock knock. But thanks, Clyde Diva 6'3" in consciousness. So now I got to focus down, and that's our title. My Bedford-Sty Brownstone. Now, I can't understand. I'm so glad that one day we'll be without all this gender stuff. I can't tell you how happy I'll be. I can't tell you how happy I'll be, because it's a horrible life to me. But I was in the cult then. I was in the cult, and that's the way the cult believes. The cult believes that you are raised to take care of men. I didn't know I was in the cult. I was sitting here reading this book about the FDLS, and it started hitting me like, okay, you was in the cult too. You wasn't in this cult, but you was in some kind of cult. Because all I was raised for was to take care of men. My grandma said, how you going to take care of men? I mean, what man's going to marry you if you can't cook for him? What man's going to marry you if you can't clean his clothes? What man is going to marry you if you can't clean his house? What man is going to marry you if you can't cook his food? What man is going to marry you if you can't have and take care of his kids? What man is going to marry you if you can't get a job and take care of the whole family? And my boy cousins, my grandmother said when they were younger, she taught them how to cook and everything. But what I saw with my own eyes, all they had to do was take out the garbage. I never heard them say, oh, what woman is going to marry you? What woman is going to marry you? You don't even know how to wash the dishes. What woman is going to marry you? You don't even know how to wipe down the sink. What woman is going to marry you? I've never heard that said in the cult. And my grandmother was strong into that cult. It was always women who served. So when I met Martin, Martina, I am transitioning. When I met Martin, and he said, Vicky, inside, I'm a woman. The first thing, even at 22, I said to myself, why would you want to be that? That's horrible. And someone said, it's not a want. It's inside. It's inside. Because no one would want this. No one would want it. It's inside. And I believed him. Yes, I did. I believe. her. I believe T.S. Martina. I believe my bestest friend. When she said, because he died, she died. We never got a chance to claim our pronouns really good. H took my Martin before she could get a pronoun. They call her F, and they call her the F word. Okay, that was the pronoun or the noun. That was the noun, the F word. I was raised in the cult of Baptist, Southern Baptist. The question was asked, what cult was I raised in? Southern Baptist. Where when the pastor came to your house, he sat at the head of the table and we girls served him. Southern Baptist. Where he groped us and touched on us and molested us for a long time and nothing was done. Southern Baptist. I tell you, until I started reading that FDLS book, I didn't know. I was like, wow, that happened to me. Oh, wow. The same thing happened to me. The whole thing, like I said, was how to take care of man. My whole thing, my grandmother also, how you gonna get and keep a man if you can't? So when I met Martin, my T.S. Martini, who didn't get a chance to transition, and they said, I'm a woman. He said, Vicky, I'm a woman on the inside. I believed him. No one is going to say they're a woman in this climate. And I know I've lost a few of y'all by saying that Southern Baptist is the cult. There's other cult. It's called Baptist. Look at the meaning and how the structure of a cult is. I love Martin, and Martin loved me because we were women. We were women. We could sit down and talk. Yes, when he said he didn't transition, but when Martin used to come over and say that he had cramps and needed something for his cramps, I gave him my all. Okay, a lot of times he didn't tell me the truth about things because Martin told me that he said gays can have babies. And I thought that. I was like, what are you talking about? Men can't have babies. He said, yes, you can, Vicky. And now he knew he was feeding me because, look, I'm 22, 23. I don't know anything. I just came from the South. Excuse me. I just came from the South. I'm up here. I got this kid. And I believed him. And then I found out later when I was in Manhattan, hanging out with my theater gay friends. And I said, oh, y'all could have jelly babies. And they said, jelly baby, who told you that? I said, oh, I was so embarrassed. Because I thought I had a news for, oh, yeah, I'm really in with the girls. I'm really in with the communities because Martin told me that. He said he had a few jelly babies too. I was like, oh, that must have been horrible. We had a strange relationship. But Martin let me be who I was, and I let him be who he was. She was who when we were together. If he wanted to be that man, then basically when company was over. Then I let him because I know how people are. But when it was just him and I, and we're doing each other's hair, and we're doing each other's nails, and I'm stuffing bra, and he rearranging my girls, moving and it didn't bother me when we go shopping. I didn't mind walking down the street, and like I tell you, Martin used to stop and twirl all the time, and I used to always say, "You look good. You look great." He said, "Don't I, Vicky?" And I said, "Yeah." And we used to compliment each other so much, so much. I can't even tell. So that's why I put the Bedford-Sty, because my whole introduction into the rainbow community was living in a rooming house in Bedford-Sty. So I have to make some notes because y'all know I'm old. Now, let me tell you how much transgender women love women. I get so mad when I look at Maddie and she reports that, oh, Black women don't like trans women. And she knows it's not, because she looks in her audience and she sees us. She sees us. I'm here to say I love them. Do you know why I have my boobies and my vagina? Because of my Martin and a few other of the gay boys. They told me that men are jealous of women. They're jealous of the breasts and the vagina, the gift of life. And I remember the first time Martin said that to me. He said, "Yeah, they real jealous. If they could have, they could snatch him off you and put it on them, they would." And I was like, "Yeah, Martin." Because remember, I'm 22, 23. Martin is my mother. I believe everything said about the community. I didn't know anything. He taught me. And he loved women. He loved being a woman. And he loved women. And he loved me. And I loved him. And if Martin would have lived long enough to be able to get implants and to get his butt shots, I know he would have gotten butt shots. I know he would have. Every time I look at T.S. Madison's Bagungas, I think about my Martin, and I say, "Oh, I know Martin would have gotten breasts just like that. I know he would, because we used to stuff his." If we had a lot of toilet paper, he had bigger breasts. If we didn't have a lot of toilet paper, he had little breasts. We didn't have any money. We were in Bedford-Sty. And I know, like I said, the only person I ever heard say, "Step your pussy up," was T.S. Madison. And every time she said that, I would say, "T.S., we didn't have money." I would have given Martin my money to do things. But Martin was an open outside, all in it, transgender woman who was still transitioning. And back in those days, they beat you, the gay boys. And it was basically the gay boys. So then I know that whole, when Maddie talks about that whole thing with the gay boys and the trans girls, I know for Martin. I know it's horrible. Oh. But Martin used to tell me that men are jealous of women's breasts. He said they want them. And if they could have children, they would have them. And I was like, "Really, Martin?" He was like, "Yeah." He said, "Be careful out there, girl." I was like, whoa. But for some reason, in the back of my head, I never forgot that. And okay, let me tell you this story. We're going to jump years later. Now, I put that in the back of my head. Martin told me, and then my theater gays that I used to work with in the village, because we worked at the UN Plaza Hotel. which is on like 42nd, 44th Street, but then we used to walk over and down the anyway. They warned me too. They used to tell me all the time. They used to say, oh, of course, they wish they had breasts. So they used to tell me, I said, men are jealous of women. They want those breasts that you have. They want the ability to have kids like you have. And I was like, really? Really? And they said, yeah. Put it back here in my head, right? Put it back here. Then, in 2001, I moved to Bedford-Sty in Westchester, New York. And for every 5 women I met, 2 ain't had no womb, and 2 ain't had no breastises. And I thought back to Martin. And I thought back to my games and the jealousy. And I tried to say to women, I said, listen, I have this on high authority. Double check, triple check, and quadruple check. And go through a woman when it comes to the breastises and the reproduction system, because men are jealous. I'm not Martin wasn't jealous of what I had. He wanted to get it, but not take it from me. Not angry at me because I have breasts and he didn't. He wasn't. He respect my breasts, and like I tell you, he used to put them. I don't know what he used to do. I used to slap that bra on somewhere, and they used to have those pointy things, and he used to say, "Come over here, pointy." And he would adjust those babies in there just as good. And all of a sudden, that little pointy bra was a little rounded out. He didn't hate me because I had breasts. He admired me. And him getting breasts is the highest form of flattery to me. And that's why I love transgender women, because imitation is the highest form of flattery. Not, you got and I don't have. No, you have and it's beautiful. That's how I feel. That I'm just talking from my experience. That's how I feel that transgender women are. I see Maddie with her Hugaboombas, and she love Hugaboombas. She love it. She don't want mine. She love hers. Martin didn't want mine. We used to stuff him, like I said, different sizes with toilet paper, and we would look good, and he would do it, and I would do it, and fine. And we would go out. Yes, I went out with my Martin. Much to the chagrin of some cult members. And this is when I'm in New York, but you still have the same thing. And they don't like. That's the ones with all the rules and all the books, and you can't do this, and what is, what ain't, what can't be. And like I told y'all, until I started reading that book, The Witness Wore Red, and really getting into it, because I follow Lee Remini and the whole thing through. And I wish I wish Martin was here. I would tell him, Martin, don't pay no attention to what those people said. That's the whole call. That whole domination, that whole subjugation, that whole thing is let it go. Remove yourself from it. Yeah, you'll lose family, but you're going to lose it anyway. How they torment my poor Martin. And his mother went to church all the time and paid money and gave money, and they still treated Martin like crap. So yeah, I know a lot of y'all said, ooh, because somebody just said, what is a cult? And when I was down south, it was a southern cult. When I was up here, it was the northern cult. I used to ask my grandmother all the time, what's the big difference? Why is everybody separated? If y'all doing the same thing, y'all talking to the same thing, y'all following the same book rules, you got all the same command, why all the separateness? Why aren't we all like in one big global arena? And honey, it took me 58 years to find out. Well, okay, say growing up. Okay. 30 something years to find out I was in a cult. That's why. I remember my grandmother used to have to say, she used to say, a man could walk down to the corner with his pants down and get to the end of the block and still be a man. And a woman, if she pulled down her pants and walked down this block, by the time she get to the end of it, she ain't a woman. I used to say, she ain't a woman. Well, what does she become? A whore, a slut. I was like, you know what? I can't do. I can't take it. I can't take it. So when I met Martin, and like I said, I got into community, I was happy. But it was Martin who did it for me. And the reason I got my breastises right now and my womb is because of the community. And that's another reason why I love them. So stop saying that Black women are against trans and the community. I've taken it for so long, even when Martin was here. And we would be having a good time laughing on the porch. Me and Martin, we having a good time. Oh, what we going to do tomorrow? Oh, Vicky, I'll do so and so to your hair. Okay, no problem. I mean, just the key good time. And of course, when them cult members, haterators would come over and say, what you doing with that F word? And Martin was awesome. He would just stand up and say, okay, Vicky, I'll see you later. And I would say, oh, okay, Martin, I'll see you. And then when he'd leave, I was like, why? What did he do? We just in here talking. His hair looked nicer than yours. So what's your problem? And these were girlfriends too. And then I don't want to cry because that's the guilt part of me. What did it for us was the HIV/AIDS. Because then, oh, you're around him, he could have the AIDS. You know what he does. You know what he good. You know how to do. Well, every time I hear Maddie says, sex worker is the only job he can get. I know it from Martin. I used to tell Martin, what? He used to go, I'm going to the department stores. I said, Lord, if you ain't going to steal, I know you ain't going to get a job. They didn't hire you. Martin was a lady. Never saw him in pants. Never saw him in pants. Never. Always in skirts. Always, never in pants. The halter tops. In the summertime, in the wintertime, he always had the little furry jackets, but they ain't feel no cold. So his chest would be out, and so they ain't gonna hire him. And that's why I admire them. And that's why sometimes when I hear Maddie says, and like I said again, she's the only one I have ever heard say this. I'm not saying she's the only one who has said it. I'm saying she's the only one I have heard say it. Step your pussy up. And I always said, Maddie, I know the girls are trying, but everybody ain't got that money like you got. But now I know that there's ways that they can get it. The internet, I'm watching them. Yes, I do find my trans. I find them on TikTok. When I was on Bigo, I find them on Bigo. I find my trans women, and yes, I throw beans, I throw roses, I throw whatever I can, because if this is your new way to hustle, I'm there for you. I'm there for you. You bring the drama, I'm there for you. Because You don't, you're hustling different. And I'm proud because Martin used to have to go down there. And let me tell you something. I used to see them little knobbly knees coming down the street. Cold, honey. And he one used to have this little jacket, like like a waiter's jacket, but really flurry and stuff like that, with fur and stuff like that, long collars and stuff like that, because cold in New York, doing what he was doing. And I would see him hustling down the street, but if he was here now, I would be watching him on live. I know I would. And he would have us dying laughing. He would be doing hair. He would be showing us nails and everything. My Martin. So I have to go on record. And that's why I'm going here. And this is going to be the thing. My Bedford-Sty Brownstone. And that's where my whole interaction with the LGBTQ community came about when I was living there. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So I'm not, when y'all say, oh, older black women, they hate the kids. They shut up. Shut up, because you don't know and you ain't speaking for me. I heard somebody today, where was I on? I was on Class Culture. Gigi Darling. And I think she brought up the thing fish. Now, I've heard Maddie talk about that. I heard a few others talk about it. And ain't nobody asked me. But I'm going to tell you, me and Martin used to throw fish around. I used to say to myself, you like smelling like fish? That's what I remember. I was in my 20s. I was like, you like smelling like fish? He said, yeah, but you can't douche it out. And I was like, no, you can't douche it out. You can't do that. Because I didn't know anything too much about my anatomy. And trust me, I had a lot of stuff going on. I had a child. I had a divorce and everything. At my 22, married, child, divorce. So when Martin said that, it didn't bother me. He made me feel, again, the highest form of flattery. He was like, yeah, us girls smell like fish. And in my head, I'm saying, oh, I thought that was a bad thing. But it's a good thing. So I don't know why you women getting all bent out of shape. Gay women say fish and again, the highest form of flattery. Martin made me okay with smelling like fish. He said, we girls smell like fish. And I said, yes, we do. We smell like fish. And he used to douche, and I used to douche. He used vinegar, and I used vinegar. Okay? So I need y'all to stop telling me about what black people and the trans and the community and stuff like that. No. Because I will windmill for my trans sister. And I would want to marry one. Yes. That is how much I do. And I told y'all, remember that, if you go on TLC, there's a show called In Transition. And it's where men later in life realize that now they can let the woman in them that they've been hiding under all those suits and ties and all that stuff, they can let that woman come out. It's called In Transition. And I watched that. They all were married, mostly, all I saw was Caucasians. And they were married. And then finally they couldn't take it anymore. And they wanted that inside that they feel to come out. And the wives were leaving them. And I kept saying, why would you leave him? He's the perfect guy now. He's the perfect guy now. He'll go shopping with you. He'll watch you put on dresses. Let me tell you something. Martin used to boost. He used to boost because, again, I'm telling you, back in that time, I'm talking about the late 70s, early 80s. Excuse my hands, and they need some lotion, but messing around with the camera, all you got to do is smudge it once and try to go live and spend the whole time trying to wipe it off. Then you say you have dry hands until after it's over. But so Martin, I do have trend thought issues because I'm old. So they were the perfect guy then. They went to the beauty parlor. I'll go to the beauty parlor with them, but the wife said no, we don't want to be in a lesbian relationship. If you and I was like, that's not a lesbian relationship. Not to me. That's the bestest friendship you could ever have. Who's gonna go into the okay? I don't want to the department store with you and go through all the perfume and touch the blush and tell you what looks good on you and what doesn't. You can't get men to do that. And even when I did it with the gay boys, I'm trying to tell you something. Every time I try to, oh, this color looks nice. It looked better on me. That's how my gay friends when I go, oh, look better on me. Oh, girl, don't put that on. You turn people off. They never once said, ooh, that'll look nice on you, girl. Get that, you'll be hot. None of my gay friends never encouraged me, never told me I was hot, never told me. Martin told me all the time. Yes. My Martin told me all the time. Girl, you put this on. This is going to bring out your lips. Let me put that on your eyes. Let me put that on your eyes. You going out. It wasn't that conflict. It was like two sister girls. We were like sister girls. And old now, I would love to have a sister girl. Okay? Couldn't get men. I never got men to go lipstick shopping with me. Hell, I could barely get my husband to go grocery shopping with me. That's women's work. Just in case y'all don't get it twisted. He didn't go shopping because it was me. He didn't go shopping because in his bringing up of what men are, men don't do that. So yeah, the men that after that, the men that I started dating, they had to have some woman in them. If I met a man and he said, I'm the best cook, I cook all the time, I was madly in love with him. That's a woman trait. Caring how food is prepared. How, to me, I know, okay, I'm not getting in with the chefs and stuff like that. I'm just talking about me, my relationship, and the brownstone, and that's where I'm coming from. Okay. Love them. I dated someone who loved doing laundry. Fell madly in love with him. He liked to fold them, the feel of the fabric, and I was moist. Dated a man that had to get his nails done. He wasn't ashamed. That was the part of him, the woman, and he wasn't ashamed. Soft hands, soft hands. We would go lotion shopping. He would go, oh, Phil. He smelled it, and he wasn't gay. We were sleeping together. Great lover. But I love that side of him. I love that of him. Yep. So that I found out. And I just realized, changing subjects, and I don't mean to offend people, but once I realized what I was involved in, and I got out, you know, I'm not in the cult, so I'm kind of connected to my family, but the fact that that's what happens in cults. When you stop dealing with the cult, and your family's there, they don't deal with you anymore. If you stop dealing with the cult and your friends are there, they don't deal with you anymore. And I didn't understand that. I was afraid to leave the cult. I was afraid because I have seen my family and others slam that door just like the Amish, tear their clothes against you, just like the Jews. And all them other cults. If you're not with us, you're nothing. And I get so upset. What? No, one thing about Martin, he went to church because his church, his mother went through all those years in Bedford-Sty Brownstone. But other than that, he didn't go. He said, I know they don't like me, and I know they get mad every time I walk in the door, and that's why I walk in there. And I used to say, oh, because remember I was a cult member. I said, oh, Martin, you playing, bad things gonna happen. But now I know, and I'm free. And I think since that time, I'm trying to tell you, I think that cult just suppressed it, because in the cult doesn't want LGBTQ, and they don't want it. They don't want them in there. And if you support them, they don't want you either. I have had friends, but remember when I get on my gay conversations, I'm telling you, I lose them. Ooh, yeah. Oh, see, I'm going against the cult. The cult says that you're not supposed to like them. We don't like them. They're not da 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 da. And if you like them, then we don't like you. And I was like, I don't like that. That sounds a little cultish. I can like who I want to like, and I can be who I want to be with. And you can't tell me, you can't make me, you can't stop me. You know? So, though I have a lot to talk about, I think I want to say this before I go, because I want to go on record. I was listening to two funny mamas on YouTube. And Sherry Shepherd and Kim Whitley, they are subbing for Wendy Williams as she recovers. Now, it dawned on me, and I said to myself, I'm going to say this on my live. Let me put it out on the ethers. I think they should invite T.S. Madison to come in. I think they should invite T.S. to do a segment on the Wendy Williams show. According to Sherry Shepherd and Kim Whitley, they are booking different talents and stuff. And right away, when I'm sitting there listening to that, and I'm like, what? They book it all the way to January. According to them, they already in January. So I like us to put some good mental vibes out there, man, and put this on the ether. T.S. Madison hosts the Wendy Williams show. And I'm going to be all in that. Let me tell you something. I ain't going to miss a show. I ain't going to miss an episode. I would love to see her sitting right there doing what she does very well. And it also give hope to us YouTubers. I mean, okay, Tasha K. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, it should be Wendy Williams is out. It should be a YouTube week. Excuse me. You want to get some ratings? Let's do a YouTube host week. You get your T.S. Madison. You get your Tasha K. Yes. Even find Nosy Ho, who is over there on, let me tell y'all where Nosy Ho at. Nosy Ho is on, oh shoot, Twitch. Nosy Ho's on Twitch. Nosy Ho, T.S. Madison, Tasha K. And I'm trying to think of a good gentleman that would interview. I don't like that that Jason person. I tried him. Oof. Not particularly. And I guess 2 other YouTubers, male YouTubers, and they should host the Wendy Williams show, and that would be fire. That would be ratings. Definitely when T.S. Madison hosts. But I know they don't want her on there adjusting her girls. But she doesn't always adjust the girls. I've seen in other interviews, she doesn't even touch the girls. I call her girls the breastesses. But I want that out on the ethers, honey. Put it out there. T.S. Madison hosting the Wendy Williams show. Yeah. Like you said, click your heels together 3 times. Click. Make it so. Well, that's it for me. And if you see this pad, I have so much more to talk about. But I'm trying to think if I'm gonna come up Thursday, and I'm coming up Sunday. Yeah, I was gonna come up for Christmas Day, but I'll be walking the morning, and you guys can catch me on this channel. I walk every morning. I'm live. Tomorrow will be my second live on YouTube, walking. So I wish you guys would join me there. And on Thursday, I talk about the Maddie in the Morning show because I look at it during the week. So I'll see you Thursday. And I appreciate y'all coming through and letting me talk about this because I've just been taking so much abuse watching the whole black women and the black women, they just hate the gays. They just hate the transgender women, and they just hate that. And I'm like, no, we don't. If I'm in the we, then no, we don't. Because I don't. Transgender women show women like me love, respect, and definitely flattery. They love being a woman, and I love being a woman. And Martin loved the woman that was inside of him that he never lived long enough to bring to the outside. And the woman in Martin loved me like nothing before. So, one last time, let's put it out for the ethers. T.S. Madison hosts the Wendy Williams show. The Wendy Williams show. Thanks so much for coming through. And you'll see it. Remember, from now on, it's a It'll be my Bedford-Sty Brownstone, and then I'll put up the topic that I'm going to speak about. But my whole interaction with the LGBTQ community started as a young girl living in a Bedford-Stuyvesant rooming house. And I have to tell you how we blinked twice and how it went from it was a lot of immigrants to gay, and we just had the best time ever. We could put a rainbow outside. Now, I do not consider myself gay. I've never been with a woman. Never. Never. Never wanted to. I connect with them on a level that we're friends. That we're friends. And I know that's hard because, anyway, I want to end this now because I have to go get me something to eat. But thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming to my Bedford-Sty Brownstone and sharing the stories, honey, because they get weirder and weirder. And I'll see you Thursday at 4:30. Thanks for coming through. See you then.